The first report came from Mrs. Gable on Elm Street. She was up late, watching an old movie, when she heard it. 3 slow, deliberate knocks on her living room window. She peeked through the blinds, but there was nothing there. Just the empty street, bathed in the pale glow of the street lights. She figured it was just the wind or some late-night pranksters and went back to her movie. But then her phone rang. It was her sister, clear across town on the other side of the river. She sounded spooked. She just heard the exact same thing. 3 slow knocks on her kitchen window. That was just the beginning. Within the hour, the local police department's switchboard was completely overwhelmed. Calls were flooding in from every corner of Hollow Street, from the isolated farmhouses out on the old highway to the new condos downtown. The story was always the same: 3 distinct, rhythmic knocks on a window. It didn't matter if you were on the ground floor or the 30th floor of a high-rise. The sound was always described as being right up against the glass. Panic started to set in. People were looking out their windows, calling their neighbors, posting shaky videos online. You could see the fear in their eyes. This wasn't just a coordinated prank. The sheer scale of it was impossible. How could someone be at every window, in every house, at the exact same moment? The timing was too perfect, too synchronized. The police were just as baffled as everyone else, issuing a statement urging residents to stay calm and lock their doors, which, frankly, didn't help much. Then, things got even stranger. A local radio host, a guy who runs a late-night talk show about weird phenomena, started asking his listeners to send in audio recordings of the knocks. He had a theory. He'd noticed the pattern in the calls he was getting. The timing wasn't just simultaneous. It felt like part of something bigger. His inbox was inundated within minutes. People had recorded the sound on their phones, on home security cameras, even on baby monitors. He started playing them on air, one after another. The sound was chillingly consistent. Knock, pause, knock, pause, knock. It was a slow, heavy sound, like someone rapping their knuckles on the glass with intention. But as he layered the different recordings, something incredible emerged. A tech-savvy listener called in, his voice trembling with excitement and fear. He'd analyzed the waveforms from dozens of different recordings from all over the city. He said, "It's not just random knocking, it's a signal." He explained that when you took the recordings from different geographic locations and lined them up, the slight variations in timing and resonance weren't random noise. They formed a pattern, a complex, overlapping pattern that, when decoded, spelled out a message. The radio host asked him what it said. The line was silent for a few seconds, and you could hear the guy take a deep, shuddering breath. He said, "It's Morse code. The knocks from the east side of town are the dots, and the knocks from the west side are the dashes." The entire city seemed to hold its breath. What could this message possibly be? The man on the phone continued, his voice barely a whisper. He pieced it together from over 100 audio samples sent to the station. He said the message was short, just 2 words. The radio host leaned into his microphone. "What are the words?" he asked. "What does it say?" There was another long pause, and then the caller's voice cracked. He said, "It says ... still here. Still here. to simple words that changed everything. Who was still here? What was still here? The entity that vanished from the old observatory. The thing they said they contained through the incident at the reservoir last year. The questions raced through everyone's minds. The knocking wasn't a warning that something was coming. It was a declaration, a message from something that had never left. Something that had been here all along, watching, waiting, silent until now. The official explanation came the next morning. A seismic anomaly, a rare atmospheric event causing resonant frequencies to vibrate through glass panes across the city. A neat, tidy, scientific explanation that nobody believed. Not after hearing that voice on the radio. Not after hearing the same 3 knocks on their own window. Because a seismic event doesn't spell out words. An atmospheric phenomenon doesn't communicate with intent. Now, a new kind of quiet has fallen over Hollow Street. It's not a peaceful quiet. It's the quiet of a city holding its collective breath. People don't look at their windows the same way anymore. Every pane of glass feels like an eye, a potential receiver for a message we don't want to get. We're all listening, waiting for the next signal. The police have stopped taking reports about knocking sounds. They say it's mass hysteria, but we know what we heard. We know this is just the beginning. The message wasn't a threat. It felt more like a reminder, a roll call, a quiet, terrifying confirmation from the unseen. So now we wait. We check our locks, we draw our curtains, and we try not to think about the vast, empty spaces on the other side of the glass. We try not to think about what happens when the next message comes. Because we all know, deep down, that whatever sent that message is still here. And it's just getting started. Thanks for tuning in to Hollow Street. Don't forget to subscribe. And whatever you do, don't look out your window after dark.